This is a bedtime story, like a small, quick one. It might not be too quick, but it's different than other stories. It's a tragedy. It's a story that happened in Kuwait, and it took 15 years to be completed. It's a story of the worst criminal Kuwait ever witnessed. What happened, who is he, and how did it take 15 years? We will listen to it shortly. Let's go. So today, as I told you, our story happened in Kuwait. It's a story of the worst criminal Kuwait history ever seen, because he had so much drama going on around him, because he was completely heartless. He wouldn't just rob and kill, and he was under the influence. He was a drug dealer, and you know how those nations, when it comes to drugs, the penalty if you are trading it or selling it or growing it is death. Imagine if he was buying and selling it, using it, and also on top of that committing crimes. Like he was shooting police officers with no remorse. He was extremely intelligent. They couldn't catch him. He was really smart. Because you know drug dealers, they wouldn't deliver drugs on their own. They would hire people and pay them a lot, and just as a disguise, and they have somebody who managed those people and somebody who managed the managers until you reach to the head of the drug dealers. And that was a problem, because whenever they catch somebody, sincerely, those small people who buy and sell and deliver the drugs to the customers, they don't know the boss. They never met him, and they don't know even his name. Anyway, so the Kuwaiti police tried to ambush him by wearing civilian clothes, which is something they never do in those countries. So they had to work for months and months to ambush him. They actually, when they captured him, they were wearing masks, and they used fake names. So eventually he got captured somehow. The police plotted a massive plot, like they want to have probably buy and sell a massive deal that he couldn't resist with so much money, like a drug dealer at his level, another one that competes with him in the market. They created a story. Eventually he was captured in one of these isolated farms, and the police ambushed him wearing masks just to protect themselves. But by accident, one of the police officers called his co-worker another police officer with his real name, not with his fake name. And the dumb guy, he didn't just say it and didn't make comment on it, so the criminal wouldn't know that this is his real name. He apologized. He said, "Oops, I'm sorry to say your real name. I didn't mean it." So the criminal knew one of the police officers' names. Long story short, the criminal got taken to the authority. He got a trial. He got convicted, and he got sentenced for 15 or 16 years in a prison. Those years passed, months passed. Police officers got old, a lot of them retired, and this guy, the criminal, couldn't wait for the day he leave the prison. And the whole time he was plotting how to get revenge from that police officer. He wasn't the one who interrogated him. He wasn't the one who sentenced him. He just put him in his head that he want to seek revenge from that specific police officer that he knows his name. And it's not hard. Kuwait is a small country, and it's the capital, and you can look people easily, because in that culture, the name you are born with sticks to you even if you get married. There's no way for people to change their names unless it's a really weird name or insulting name that some people name their kids like weird names if they are Bedouins or if they are foreigners, and the name doesn't translate well in the Arabic language, and it it's like a curse word, then you are allowed to change name. Even with marriage, you cannot take your spouse's last name or change your name at all. So it's easy to find people. So he located the man. Somehow he found the police officer, and he located him. It's very easy. Probably their names are public in the websites or something. But he found out that this police officer doesn't work in the police force anymore. He retired, and they told him he retired 5 years ago. It's not even recent. And somehow he found his home address and started surveillance on this police officer. He would watch when he come to the house, when he leave the house. He would watch him what he's doing, who's getting in the car with him, where he goes every day. So he developed a profile on him just to see how he can get revenge. He found out that the poor police officer, he takes his kids to school every day. That's something he does every day. He never miss. Nobody else take the kids. Usually in that cultures they have a driver. But the guy, since the police officer, since he's retired, he took that task on himself, to take the kids to school every day. And that day, the criminal followed the police officer, was able to locate the exact school that specific kid go to, and he was the youngest among them all. Probably he was in middle school or 6th grade in a primary school. And he was watching the kid and waiting for him until the dad leaves, and then he would wait for the kid until the school time is done. And he pretended to be speeding, and he just committed the crime. He hit the boy really hard, driving really fast, aiming to kill him, not to just injure him. When he did the deed, he pretended like he's sorry, and he almost cried, and he even carried the kid, and he did it in front of the dad's eyes. Usually the parents, that they wait for their kids outside the school. He waited and did it in front of the dad's eyes on purpose, while the kid was crossing the street to go to his dad's car. Of course, he pretended to be sorry, and he was apologetic, and carried the kid himself in his car. He said, "Let's rush to the hospital. It will take the paramedics time to come here. We are faster to go there." And he took him to the hospital. Of course, the kid arrived to the hospital dead. The hospital has to issue a death certificate and write the details, the cause of death. Of course, the police got called, and the dad was under adrenaline. Of course, you would say, how the dad didn't recognize a criminal? Of course he didn't, because it was just a moment when he captured him in the farm and gave him to the authority, and that's it. And it happened 15 years ago, and under the adrenaline rush and the shock of the whole accident and the whole thing that happened, he wasn't paying attention. Actually, until the end of the story, he didn't recognize the guy somehow. I don't know. He said it's 15 years ago, and I don't remember him. And the matter got taken, of course, to the police officers. The police take it to the court, and the dad, after the funeral is done, he went to the court and declared he is dropping the case and forgiving the guy because it was a full accident and the kid will never come back. And that culture is very forgiving when it comes to things like this, because the criminal even brought his family, like his mom and sisters, to apologize and told him exactly where to go and what to do. They went to the police officer house even to say their condolences and apologize, and they offered money. But the police officer didn't, so he played the whole game very well, pretending that he's sorry and he didn't mean it. Days passed and months passed, and in the Kuwaiti law, you have to wait several months until the court case settle and the judge seal the case, and so both parties, they give them chance if the police officer want to change his mind, or if new things happened and got found. 7 months passed and nothing changed, and the police officer didn't change his mind, so the case got sealed completely, that it's an accident, a pure accident, that the guy who did the deed didn't mean it. The victim father dropped the case, and it's official and sealed, and it's in the archives of the court. Of course, when the criminal heard the news that the case is closed and sealed, he started watching the father again, and this time he didn't do anything behind, like shady, or he hid nothing, nothing like that. He walked directly to the police officer house, knocked his door, and he was having actually a gun. He rang the bell. One of his kids again came out to see who's on the door. He told him, "Where is your dad? Is he here?" He said, "Yeah, my dad is here." The police officer came, and he was shocked to see the same guy who hit his kid and caused the accident. He told him, "How can I help you? What happened?" The criminal told him, "Do you remember me?" And the police officer said, "No, I don't remember you." And "I remember you, that you are the guy who did the car accident with my son." The criminal told him, no, not, "Do you remember me before the accident?" And the police officer confirmed, "Absolutely not. How could I remember you? Where would I see you?" And the criminal told him, "You remember 15 years ago?" It's now 16, like 15 and 8 months. 16 years ago, when that drug dealer, you captured him and you were wearing a mask in that farm. He said, "Yeah, how could we forget that? You were one of the most wanted criminals in the country." "Is that you? I don't know. I don't remember your face." He said, "Yeah, that's absolutely me. The accident that happened to your son was all a plan. I was watching you for days. I waited 15 years to take revenge, and that's my revenge from you. And that's it." And he just walked away. The police officer was under a shock. He couldn't even run to capture him or hunt him down. And of course, it's dangerous. He can't just capture him like that. So immediately he went to the police station to report it. It was late at night, but of course police stations are open, or maybe probably he called one of the people he knows, because he knows a lot of people in the police station, and they told him, "What are you talking about? That's a very old case. And sir, you can't do anything. The case, you forgave him. You dropped the case in the court, so you can't do anything. But we will send you tomorrow morning. Go home and rest. We will make sure about this guy. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's somebody who's sick psychologically. Because this story is so bizarre. Why would he come and tell you?" I guess because he went in person and told him, as a part of his revenge, the sick guy, because he's really sick. Yeah, that's it. Part of his revenge, I guess, because he knows the law, and probably he knows once the case is sealed, it's impossible to reopen it again. Of course, next morning wouldn't have come earlier to the police officer. Immediately, he didn't even go to the police station or wait for their call. He went directly to the court. Tried to meet one of the judges, not the judge that sealed the case, but any judge, and he talked to them. "Hey, this is what happened. He showed up by my door. He confessed that he is the one who killed my son on purpose. That's his name. You have a old case for him." And for sure, they confirmed that he has a drug case, and he was in a prison, served time in a prison for 15 years. And at that time, the police station, one of his friends, called him, but of course he couldn't pick up the call. But later on, in the voicemail, confirmed to him that this is the same guy. Yes, he had a case 15 years ago. He served time in a prison for 15 years. And that's the guy. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what he told you? It's the same. He told the judge, and later on to the police officers that left him the voicemail. "I don't remember the guy's face, but this is what he told me, and this is his name, and I gave it to you, and you confirmed it. So now somebody has to go and catch him and bring justice. The police station, as they confirmed for him before, that the case is sealed, it cannot be opened, it's against the law. Again, the judge told him that the guy went everywhere writing papers to the government, doing everything, but it's done. They can't do anything. There is no way to prove that he confessed. And of course, if they captured him again, he will say that the police officer is lying and that he knows him from before and he wanna just take revenge. You can't change your mind in the court. Once you drop a case, you cannot reopen it again. It's impossible. And a sad ending. But I believe in justice and second life, and this guy, believe it or not, karma hunted his ass, and the police officer witnessed it. Ironically, he was going to the hospital for a matter with his wife. By the hospital door, the police was gathering, the paramedics. Later on, he found out that this guy that they gathered by the door to catch was that same criminal, overdosed and dying at the hospital doors, and he passed away. Well, hope you like this story, shorter story before you go to bed. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and like the video if you don't mind, because it helps the logarithm of the video. Even if you don't like it, you'll do me a favor. And welcome to my channel if you are new to it. Take care, and until our next story. Bye bye.